Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a look at a source that, well, it might seem a little whimsical on the surface.
It definitely does.
It's a short story called The Secret of the Snugflake Blizzard. And, it's about kids at indoor recess, but when you look closer, there's so much more here about safety, community, how we build spaces for each other.
It's basically a master class in emotional architecture, just, with more fluff.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. So the story starts at Maple Hollow Elementary. It's a freezing cold December day. The kids are all stuck inside.
The classic indoor recess crisis.
Yes. And what's the only possible solution? It's a unanimous declaration of blanket fort time.
And right there, that phrase, it's so important. It's not just about being bored.
Yeah.
The kids are actively taking control. They're redesigning their own environment.
That's a great point.
What's fascinating is that this happens before any of the magic starts. It shows that the foundation for a safe space, it comes from imagination and working together. That's like, it's early organizational theory, but just built with pillows.
I love that. And this isn't just throwing blankets over chairs, right? This is a real collaboration.
A proper build.
We meet our three main builders. You've got Mia. She brings a fuzzy purple blanket.
So that's the sensory comfort piece.
Then there's Max with his superhero bedsheet, which is like the structural support.
And maybe the theme, right? Protection.
And finally, Harper comes in with the fluffy marshmallow cloud blanket, the luxury item.
And there you have it. You've got the three ingredients for any successful community project. You need utility, you need security, and you need a little bit of pleasure.
So they put it all together and they end up with this incredible structure. Tunnels, towers.
Secret rooms.
And my personal favorite detail, a very well-defended, no broccoli allowed zone.
Yes. That's the boundary setting. That's crucial. It's not just a fort. It's a space with its own rules, its own social contract. And that's what creates the trust inside.
Okay, so the fort is built. And the big moment, the turning point, comes from this really small act. Mia clips the final clothespin right at the very top.
The activation key.
Exactly. And then, whoosh.
Yes, and the story describes shimmering white sparkles. But it's the effect that's so interesting. The blankets, they puff up like warm balloons. The walls start to glow with the soft light.
So the normal stuff becomes magical.
It becomes self-sustaining. The space is now powered by the belief of the kids who built it. It's inherently comforting.
And then the weather system shows up inside the fort.
The snowflakes.
The snowflakes. It starts snowing inside, but these flakes, they aren't cold. They're tiny bits of cotton fluff that giggle when you touch them.
I mean, what a brilliant narrative device.
Yeah.
The snugflakes are basically psychological safety made visible. They're the feeling of being protected and happy, but turned into a tangible thing.
So the fort is humming with magic, the snugflakes are swirling, and then a giant blanket door opens with a warm creak.
And we meet our guide.
We meet Snugbug, the keeper of cozy adventures. And he's literally a creature made of stitched-together blankets. He is the fort.
He's the embodiment of the space, yes. It's like the comfort they built is now alive and ready to show them around.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because the world inside this fort is just incredible.
The geography is all based on comfort and joy. So it's not just a fort anymore. It's a whole landscape. There's a cotton candy snow slide.
Pure fun.
A pillow avalanche mountain, which is a way to face a little bit of danger without any real risk.
Right, controlled peril. But the two things that really stood out to me were the hot cocoa river.
Navigated by marshmallow stepping stones. So you have sustenance, you have careful progress.
And the glowing quilt cave.
Yes. The story says it's filled with stories whispered by the stitches. That's the heart of the fort. It's the history, the collective memory that holds a community together. It's glowing with warmth and knowledge.
So they've built this perfect, cozy, safe space. But of course, any good story needs a conflict to really test that safety.
Exactly. You can't just have endless comfort, right? So right in the middle of all this fun, they hear a soft cry.
And the conflict arrives. It's this tiny, trembling little snugflake.
And it's lost. It can't find its snow spool family.
So let's pause here. Why would the magic, which is powerful enough to create a living creature and a cocoa river, allow something to get lost? Doesn't that sort of undercut the magic?
That's the whole point, I think. That's the core of the story. The coziness, the safety, it isn't defined by having no problems. It's defined by how the community responds to problems.
Okay.
The magic sets the stage, but the safety has to be acted out by the kids. It has to be earned.
And their response is so immediate. Mia just kneels down and says, "We'll help you."
No hesitation.
None. The whole mission shifts from just having fun to this active, caring search party with Snugbug leading the way.
And this is when the fort really fulfills its purpose. They start using the terrain they build not for play, but for a rescue mission. They're navigating fluffy blizzards and bouncing over pillow drifts.
Along the way, they meet some guides, right? Patchwork penguins and a quilted yeti.
And they're not scary. They're friendly. The story even points out the yeti was just a stuffed animal brought to life.
So even the challenges are rooted in familiar, comforting things.
Exactly. The fear is manageable because the environment itself is fundamentally safe. They're just asking for directions, really.
So the search leads them to the Snugstorm spiral, which is where all the loose snowflakes gather.
The home base. And the reunion is the real emotional climax. The little lost snugflake floats over to its family, and they just wrap it up in a big, warm snuggle hug.
It's that feeling of belonging made real. You're safe now. You're home.
But it doesn't just end there with the hug. Their act of kindness has a direct consequence on the whole system.
Right?
The moment that Snugflake is safe, the story says the glowing swirl brightened the entire fort. Their empathy literally made the whole space warmer and brighter.
It's a feedback loop.
Precisely. The magic isn't passive, it responds. When you take care of the most vulnerable member of the group, the entire environment gets an energy boost.
The treasure they get isn't gold, it's just a brighter feeling of being together. But, all good recesses have to end. The magic starts to fade. The kids scramble out just as the blankets are turning back into, well, just blankets.
The world resets. But the lesson sticks. Snugbug dissolves into sparkles, but he leaves them with that one core message.
Remember, cozy magic grows when you help someone feel safe.
That's the whole story in one sentence.
So they're back in the classroom, and Mrs. Willow pokes her head in, says, "Great fort," and asks if they're ready for math. But the kids just share this secret smile.
They know they just learned something much bigger. And that's the key takeaway for all of us, really. This story, it's a perfect little model for how to build a community.
It's not just about being nice.
No. It's about how actively making sure someone feels included and warm is the most powerful force a group has. It literally generates energy. You don't just build walls, you build assurance.
So what does this deep dive into the snowflake blizzard mean for you, our listener?
I think it means recognizing that the most magical and successful spaces aren't the ones that pretend vulnerability doesn't exist.
They're the ones that mobilize to help when it appears.
Exactly. They use all their resources, imagination, effort, kindness, to make sure no one is left out in the cold. It's a reminder that we're all, at different times, we're either building the fort, exploring inside it, or
we're the tiny, lost snowflake.
Right. And the power is in choosing to be the rescue party.
So the provocative thought I want to leave you with today is this. If you look at the fort you live or work in, how actively are you searching for the lost snugflakes? What small act of inclusion could you do today that wouldn't just solve one problem, but would actually make the entire space brighter for everyone?
Find your clothespin, find your snugflake, and start building.
That's our deep dive for today. Until next time, keep searching for the lessons hidden in the fluff.